Hi guys, thanks so much for working out with me today. We're going through a class that is going to start with all pretty much lower body, focusing on strengthening all those muscles around your knees. That'll be the first half. And then the second half of the class will be working on the upper body, mainly strengthening through the shoulders, through the chest, through the back, through the arms. You will need your mini ball. You will need a loop band and your Pilates box. Now I'm on the taller side, so I also have my moon box, and you'll see where that comes into play a little bit later. All right, I want you to start with 3 heavy red springs on. So for me on my balanced body machine, my heavy are the red, and I've got my foot bar in the up position. Go ahead and lay down, and we're going to start with some footwork. Now I want you to take your band and thread it through so it's on the outside of your legs above your knees, kind of mid-thigh, and then put the ball between your knees. We're not going to do much with the loop band yet, but we have it there for when we need it. Now I want you to push into your heels on the bar, give that ball a nice big squeeze, and reach the arms long down to your sides. We're going to start by pushing the carriage all the way out to full extension, and then bringing it right back in. Good work. You're going all the way out and bringing it right back in. Now I'm giving that ball a big hug the whole time, and that's going to start to kick in these adductor muscles, those inner thigh muscles. Very important that we strengthen the body in all sides. So when we're talking about knee health, we want to have strength on the insides, balance that strength on the outsides, balance the strength in the front and the back. What tends to happen with your knees is when one area maybe gets stronger than the other, then the knee can get out of alignment and you get into some issues. So let's do 2 more. And then we'll do 1 more. Now come halfway in and do little pulses. I know at one point in my life I had IT band syndrome, so the side of my legs were so tight they were pulling my knee out to the side, and I thought I needed knee surgery, but really what I needed at that point was physical therapy to stretch and release my IT bands. So once I went through that, my knee was fine. Although I've had other knee issues I'll be talking about during class, but that one didn't require surgery. So we'll go for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now go all the way out to finish and come right back in, staying into the bumper. If you have your headrest up, go ahead and roll it or bring it down. We're going to roll the hips up 1 vertebrae at a time, coming up and into your bridge. And then as you do that, roll yourself down and squeeze the ball. So we're just squeezing the ball the whole time as you're rolling up and down. Still focusing on the inside of the leg, strengthening through the inside. Also strengthening through the glutes and the hamstrings here as we lift and lower. Good. So every exercise we're going to do here in the first part of our class is really designed on strengthening the knee, strengthening the hips, and all those muscles in the lower body. I want you to do that 2 more times, rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time, and then rolling down. And then your next time you're going to take it to the top and hold it. So once you're up to the top, you're going to hold it up and just start to pulse into your knees. Just pulsing in an inch, out an inch, in an inch, out an inch. So just little presses into that ball. You can start to use your breath a little bit more. I like to exhale every time I squeeze the ball to feel those inner thighs engage. Want you to do that 4 more times. 3, 2, and 1. Now roll yourself all the way down and you can remove the ball. We're going to put the ball to the side, slide to your toes, lift your heels high, and you can slide the band a little closer towards the knee now, and I want you to push a little bit out into the band. So the band's going to try to pull your knees together. I want you to push out into the band and make sure your knees line up right with your hips, pushing all the way out and right back in. Now you can even take a little look, make sure your ankles, your knees, and your hips are all in the line, and you're pushing out into that band, and now we're going to balance that work we did on the inline of the body with the outside line. So now working those abductors. Heels stay lifted, and it's just a little push out into the band for now. We're going to go for 3 and 2. Do one more all the way out, and then I want you to hold it at that halfway point and do little pulses. Just 1 inch in and 1 inch out. Little pulses. Keep pushing into the band, so we're not moving the band, we're just holding what we considered isometric, so no movement, but a lot of work. I feel my outer thighs having to control this. I want you to go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go all the way out and hold your legs straight. Let's lower the heels under the bar and lift the heels back up. Lower the heels under and lift the heels up. Good. Now I also have a whole filter on my website, and it's just the additional filter. And if you open up that filter, you can see things like exercises or videos that don't require the box, videos that are friendly for your wrist, no pressure on the wrist, and there's one that's knee health. So any of those workouts would be great workouts for those of you who are wanting something good for the knees, which means there's no kneeling during the workout, no really intense exercises for the legs, just a lot of things that I put together when different clients were rehabbing after or before surgeries. Next time your heels are up, you're going to hold your heels up, bend your knees, and come home. Now make sure you keep pushing out on the knees. We're going to go into the bridge. This time I want you to hinge, lift your hips up, and then hinge and lower your hips right back down. And if you're joining me on YouTube and not my website, I have a whole playlist that would be Healthy Knees. So you can look under the Healthy Knees playlist, and that's where you can find all the videos in that playlist would be videos that I put together for clients before surgery or recovering after surgery, anything that doesn't require kneeling. So none of those videos would have any exercises that put pressure on the knees. So hopefully that is helpful for you as well when you're looking for more workouts to do. Now the next time your hips are high, we're going to hold it, and now I want you to start pushing out into the band and back in. My band is a pretty heavy band. I buy them in a little pack of 5 and going from light to super heavy, and this is kind of the second from the top, so this is heavy. And if you feel like it's too much, you can always get a lighter band. There's lots of bands on the market, but I like to buy the 5-pack because then I have some variety if I want to work harder or lighter. And sometimes using the band on my arms, I need really lightweight. Good. Do that 3 and 2 and 1. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and lower the hips down. Third and final position. Let those knees go wide and let your heels go together. I'm still on the balls of my feet. I'm going to push out. The band will go a little slack, but when I come in, I really open the band up, let my knees go wide. So I'm coming out and bringing my legs together, and as I come in, I let my knees go wide. So just working that different rotation of the leg will change what we're working in the legs as well. So big turnout. Let's go 2 more, and then we're going to finish off this last one holding halfway in, holding here and doing little pulses out against the band, pulsing the knees away from each other. So just little tiny pulses. Pulses will go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way in and take that band off. All right, from here we're going to come all the way up and off of the machine, and this is where we're going to need our box. So we're done with the band for now. I want you to put your foot bar down, and if you have the Infinity foot bar like me, you actually have to move the foot bar all the way out of the way, and you can keep it up. When I set my box onto the machine, it's going to be pretty much flat. If you have a regular foot bar, your box is going to be at a little bit of an incline. Either is fine. I do want you to change your weight though to 1 heavy red spring So I only have a heavy red spring on, and I'm going to put my box right up against my foot bar, and just make sure that your carriage is out of the way so that when you sit on the box, you don't get your carriage stuck under there. I'm going to grab my ball again, and then I want you to sit on the box. Now I want to show you something here with when we're talking about the knees. So I'm going to sit on the box, and my legs are pretty long. So you see when I sit on the box, I have less than a 90-degree bend here. So this is too much of a knee bend for me, and especially if you're having issues with your knees out there, this might be too much. So what I'm going to do for me is to prop myself up on this moon box, and what that's going to do is put me at a 90-degree bend. So if your box isn't giving you the proper positioning for your knee, then I'd like for you to grab something else that you can sit on top of the box to give you that proper position. Now I'm going to put the ball between the knees. I'm going to give that ball a nice squeeze, hands on your hips, and you're just going to take your carriage and just kind of push it out with your legs and then resist it right back in. Good. And I'm really sitting nice and tall. Shoulders are down, abs are in, relaxing through those shoulders down my back, ribs drawing together. And this is really great for the fronts of the legs. Again, we're trying to strengthen all those muscles around the knees. So I'm just pushing out, and I'm resisting back in. So you know how the springs work. So I'm opening the springs, and I'm trying not to let those springs pull me back too quickly. I'm going out, and then I'm resisting the springs back in. Nice work. I want you to do that 3 more times. And 2 more times. And 1 more. Now come halfway in, and you'll go just little pulses, pushing out an inch, in an inch, out an inch, in an inch. Don't forget that little string at the crown of your head. It's pulling you up. Your spine's as long as you can get as you push out and in. Now for me, a heavy red is a really great weight. If you're feeling that this is too much, you could go lighter. And again, if you're feeling like this isn't enough, you can go heavier. I want you to go for 3 and 2 and 1 more. Good. Now come in and take the ball away. You're going to just set the right foot on the wood. This way the leg doesn't have to do anything. And I want to make sure my left foot is lined up in line with my sitting bone. And I'm just going to push out and in on that left leg only. I'll move the ball so you can kind of see. So I'm just pushing out and in on that leg. And if you want it harder, you can always bring your leg a little closer to the edge. So the closer the leg is towards you, it's a little bit more challenge. But again, if you're dealing with where you don't want to have the knee bent too much, the leg away from you will limit the knee bend. So I'm sitting really tall, and I'm just pushing all the way out and back in with that single leg. Now we've gone to single, so if the red heavy is too much for you, you can always go into a lighter spring. We're going to do that for 3 and 2. 1 more. Now let's stop halfway and do little pulses. 1 inch in and 1 inch out. So you're doing little pulses, 1 inch and 1 inch. Good. We're going to go for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Go out to finish and come in. Let's switch that with the right. So the right foot knee is lining up with your sitting bone. Your left foot can just go out to the wood to rest, and you're pushing only with the right, out and in. Now I'm really trying to lift my kneecap and squeeze through my quadricep here. So I'm squeezing through that muscle as I pull in and out. Again, you're sitting nice and tall. Whatever breath feels appropriate for you. I like to inhale to push, exhale to resist in. This will be your last one, and then you'll come halfway in and hold and do little pulses, 1 inch and 1 inch. Little pulses, 1 inch in and out. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Go all the way out to finish and come back in. Now we're going to step off of this and move our box to the other side to do basically the reverse. So I'm going to remove my box, and I want you to take your straps off. That just gives you a little better positioning of the box, so I can move my straps down. The box is going to go up against the risers, and again, I'm going to be sitting on this moon box so that I'm higher up. I will stay still on that heavy red spring, and then I want you to sit up on top of your box facing your carriage. Your feet are going to go onto the shoulder blocks. That ball can go between your knees. So I'm going to kind of push my heels into the shoulder blocks, and then I'm going to squeeze the ball and start to pull my carriage towards me and then away from me. So I'm squeezing the ball and pulling the knees in and then resisting the legs away. Now we're doing the exact opposite of what we just did on the other side of the machine. So now it's the back of my knee, my hamstrings are having to work to pull the carriage towards me. Now again, I'm comfortable on one heavy red, but you can always modify and change. We are going double and then single, just like we did on the other side. Now you're squeezing that ball, so you're focusing on inner thighs as well. The next time you are in, you're going to hold it and do 1-inch pulses, in an inch, out an inch, in an inch, out an inch. Every time you pulse in, think of sitting even taller. You're going to go for 3 and 2. Hold your next one in and do little pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, and you can set the ball to the side. Now we'll go into single. I am going to slide a little over to the side because it's very important that your hip is lining up with your knee and ankle. So I'm going to just put my right foot off to the side to rest, and I'm going to be pulling in with the left and back out. Now you could also pull this right leg up into your chest, but I'm just taking it to rest it to the side so I can just focus mainly on this left hamstring. I won't lie, the red seems pretty heavy for a single, so if you feel like you need less, then you can definitely take it down to the blue-yellow, or 1 medium and 1 light. Good. After 1 more, you're going to hold this one in there and take little pulses, 1 inch in, 1 inch out, 1 inch in, 1 inch out. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Release the carriage. I'm going to slide my box a little bit over to the second side, so that I can line my right knee, hip, and ankle, and my left foot's just going to reach out to the side to rest. Just pull that carriage towards you and bring it away. Pull it in and bring it away. Good. Every time I pull the knee in, I'm trying to pull my abdominals in as well. Find my powerhouse. This is a lot of work, just holding yourself in this upright position. 3 more to go. And 2. Hold your next one in and give me little pulses. 1 inch in and 1 inch in. Good. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and release, and let's come off the box. Now let's take the box off to the side. Just for the next series of exercises, you can put your straps back onto your pegs, and let's switch our weight to a medium blue spring. So I'll be only on a blue spring. A little bit of sideline work to work those side bottoms, the hips as well, and the IT bands again, those outer thighs, adductors. I'm going to have you lay on your left side to start. You can be head on the headrest. If you would rather have a yoga block to put your head on, you could do that as well. The front strap I'm going to put on my top thigh. I have 2 straps, so I'm using my little loop, which gives me a little bit more challenge. Now from here I stack my knees, stack my hips. I've got a little blueberry underneath my bottom waist. I'm trying not to push into the blueberry. I'm trying to lift and not smash it. Now keep your feet together and open your knees and close your knees. One of the best exercises here to strengthen through your hips, to strengthen that whole line from the knee to hip. Now for some of you, this might be way too much challenge with the strap. So what you might want to do instead of using the strap is go back to that resistance band, that loop band, and you can do the same open and close with just the band, and then build up to the strap. 2 more, and last one. Now I want you to take the whole leg, lift it up, push it back, lower it down, and bring it in. So we're just lifting it, pushing it back, lowering it, and coming in. So it's not opening like the clam now, so your hips are staying square, so we're not doing a big open and back and around. We're just keeping it square and just doing a little open, back and around. Little open, back and around. Good. 2 more. 1 more in this direction, and then let's go ahead and switch. So you'll go back first. You'll open the leg, bring it forward and down. Back, open, forward and down. Good. Doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to be fast. Nice work. Let's go 2 more times. And 1 more time. Good job. Now let's come out of here. You're going to roll yourself off, face your machine, and you still have that strap. I'm going to stand where my carriage is not resting against the bumper. My feet are hips distance apart, and I feel that band pulling me, that strap pulling me to the right. I'm going to stay here and just do a little squat down and then stand right back up. Now it's not a big squat, it's a little hinge for my hips, but then I'm driving through my heels and trying to straighten all the way back up. Now the work here is that this strap is trying to pull me off to the right, and I'm using the inside line of my right leg to hold me. Little squats, big lift. Doesn't have to be a big squat. Squats are really healthy for your knees. It's just if you're doing them correctly. So you don't want to be going too far down. I mean, not that going far down is wrong. That's just if you're in the situation where you can't do a big plie bend. You can still do squats. You're just making them smaller. Now hold 1 more. And then let's come up. Okay, let's take that strap off. And we'll do the second side. So I want you to lay on your right side this time. You're going to square your hips, square your shoulders. Take the strap and put it on your top leg. It's going to be right on that top knee, right above the knee. Now stack your hips. Have that little blueberry underneath your bottom waist. Feet stacked, knees stacked. We're opening just the top knee and closing it. So the first exercise is that clam. Open, resist it, closed. I would say this is one of those really challenging muscles. Hip rotation is important. Building those hip rotator muscles. You can use the band here if this is too much with the strap. Last 2. And 1 more. Now instead of rotating, we're going to lift the leg up. Pull it back, down, and forward. Lift up, back, down, and forward. Up, back, down, and forward. Last 2. Last one. And then we're going to reverse it. So you'll go back, up, forward, and around. Back, up, forward, and around. Good work. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. All right, let's step off of there. Turn to face your machine. I still have that band above my knee, and I'm far enough over to the right that my carriage isn't resting on the bumper. Hips distance apart with your feet, and when I say hips distance, it's those hip bones in the front, and we're going to be doing a little squat down and a big lift up. So it's not a big squat, it's just a little squat and a big extension. Really working on stretching the legs straight as you come up. Good. We'll do 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Really good job. Okay, let's take that strap off. That concludes the leg part of this. Now, one of my requests was to have a lower body healthy knee class, but then also add arms. So we're doing that next. So you've got your Pilates box. You're going to put the box on long position. You're also going to take your Pilates ball and bring it with you. I'm going to sit on my box facing my tower. The ball is going to go between my knees again. So even though we're working arms, we've still got that connection. I want you to grab onto your short loops if you have short loops. If not, you'll just choke up. So your shoulders are down, your abs are in, you're squeezing the ball. Take your arms and pull them straight back behind you, and then resist them forward. Now, if you're swinging all over the place and using momentum, you're kind of missing the boat here. So we're just doing a push back. And it's not going so far back. Notice this. If I go way far back and pull my shoulders forward, then I'm really not getting much out of it, and I can really injure myself. So I'm just trying to isolate and push back and not move the front of my body. Now, the next time your arms are back, you're going to keep them back. I want you to hinge forward from your hips and now bend your elbows, push the arms straight, and squeeze the ball. Your back is long, your chest is lifted, your spine is long. So we're hinged forward, but we're not rounded forward. 3 more to go. And 2. And 1. Really good job. Now let's stack our spine back up and bring your arms forward. I want you to cross the straps and then take your elbows and glue them into your rib cage. Draw your ribs in, draw your abs in. You're going to externally rotate your forearms and then bring them back. So now working the rotator cuff muscles, all those muscles in the shoulder that we use for pretty much everyday life, any sports, any movement. Take a second and look at your wrist. Make sure that you're not bending at the wrist. You want to keep those wrists really strong and straight, and you're moving, kind of hinging those arms open and closed like a door. Go 3 more times. And 2. And 1 more. Let's go ahead and uncross the straps, put the right strap onto the peg. Keep holding the left strap in the right hand this time, left arm in front of you. I'm going to pull the right arm into a high elbow row and then release it. Pull the right arm into a high elbow row and release. Good. Three more. Are you holding that ball tight? Keep sitting up tall. And then we're going to start to add a little rotation. So next time you pull, look to the right and twist, and then look to the left and come back. So I'm twisting right, and I'm rotating back to the left. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Really good job. Let's take that strap and put it away and pick up the other strap. Your left hand is holding the right strap. Your right arm's in front of you. You're squeezing the ball. Go with a high elbow row to start. I'm angling my thumb right to my armpit and my elbow out to the horizon. Last 3 and 2. Now on the next one, we're going to start to add our twist to the left. I want you to look to the left and twist. Rotate back and look right. Rotate, look left. Rotate, look right. Good job. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Good. Now let's keep that same strap, but I want you to turn to your right. You'll have your feet onto the moving surface. You're going to hold the ball in the right hand, strap in the left hand, and just bring them together. Now hold that ball right in front of you. I'm going to take the ball up and over my head 1 time, and then twist it to the right 1 time. Going up and over the head, and then twisting it to the right. Good. Up and over the head, and then twisting to the right. Inner thighs finally get a rest, right? No more ball there. Now we've got to work those arms a lot, though. Good. 3 more to go. Really reach and extend to the ceiling, and then rotate your whole rib cage. 2 more. Reach and extend to the ceiling, and then rotate that rib cage. Last one here. Reach and extend, and rotate. Good. Now put the ball back into the knees, and then we're going to do a draw the sword with that right arm pushing out into the foot bar and back and down. Well, I spoke too soon. Now you don't get a break. So the legs are working again. You remember, if you've watched my other videos, I like to say the inner thighs are the gateway to the core. So whenever we've got a ball between the knees, you're incorporating more abdominals into your work. Good. Make sure you're watching that wrist. Keep it really nice and straight and long. 2 more. And then you've got 1 more to finish. Good work. Okay, that strap can go in the left hand. You'll take the ball in the right hand and then straddle your box to face your foot bar. So I'm sitting with my legs kind of out in front of me. And again, paying attention to the knees. So you don't want to have the feet way back here if this is too much knee bend. You can have the legs in front. And as I did before, if you're tall like me and you have a really big bend here, you can always be sitting up on a box. So you might need to make changes based on your body to make sure your knees feel comfortable in this arm work as well. So I should have mentioned that before, but just so you can kind of see from here, I have my feet in front of me to keep a little less bend in my knees. So I have my hands a little in front of me so I can see the ball, I can see my hands, and then I drop the ball. All right, now I've got the ball. All right, sitting up tall, take an inhale. I want you to circle those arms over the head and switch the ball to the other hand. Again, circle up and over the head and switch the ball to the other hand. Good. Nice job. 2 more switches. And then the next time, let's stay at the top holding the ball with both hands. I want you to bend your elbows and straighten your elbows. Bending the elbows and straightening the elbows. You can keep a nice squeeze into that ball, and your elbows can angle to the front of the room instead of angling out to the sides. So I'm kind of hugging the midline with my elbows. Instead of elbows way out here to the sides, my elbows are staying right in. Do 1 more, and then keep the arms straight, keep the ball in the right hand, reach the arms out for a hug a tree. You're going to switch the ball at your chest ball to the left hand, switch it back, ball to the right hand. So we're switching from one hand to the other. Good. This is one of my favorite chest and arm series with the ball. We've got one more thing to add to this. So next time the ball is in both hands, bring it towards your body, and I'll just push and press it away. Bring it towards your body and push and press it away. Three, two, one more. Good work. Okay, let's put the left strap away. Turn to face your right, so quarter turn to the right. You can again pop that, or keep the ball in your hands. Sorry, we're going to keep it in the hands for right now. Still get a little break for the inner thighs. Take your ball and punch it over your head one time, and then take it into a twist of your torso to the left one time. We're going up and over the head, and then twisting to the left. Up and over the head, and twisting to the left. Good work. Two more sets. And one more set. Nice job. Now you can put the ball back into the knees. Your left hand has the strap. You're going to draw the sword out to punch and bring it back and down. Draw it out to punch and back and down. Good. Nice. Last three. And two. And one more. Good work. Okay, we're going to put that strap away. We're done with the ball. We're done with the box. So I'm going to go ahead and put the box off to the side. And we are going to finish with just a little bit of feet and straps. And I have my foot bar moved out of the way for the last exercise I was doing with the box. So I'm going to go ahead and put my foot bar back into the regular position. And so if you had your foot bar up, or down, you can put the foot bar up. You should be on one heavy red and one medium blue. And then we're going to lay all the way down onto our back and put the straps on your feet. Now again, if you're working on limiting your flexion of your knees, so you're not coming in and out too much, then what I would have you do is when you have your legs straight out to a 45-degree bend or an angle, you're just going to bend the knees just a little and then push it out. So you can really control the knee bend here to make it comfortable for you. So if you're not having any issues with your knees and you can go a little bigger, then you can definitely do that bigger knee bend. But feel free to stay where it feels comfortable for you, just doing that nice bend and big release. Good. So I'm just pushing those feet to the opposite side of the room and then releasing. I'm definitely hugging my muscles in towards my bones, so I'm kind of squeezing. I'm not hyperextending and I'm not trying to pop and lock, so I'm definitely not doing this where I'm popping my legs out. I'm just doing a slow push out. It's healthy for your knee to reach full extension. We just don't want to do it in a jerking fashion. So you can go all the way out, and you definitely want to go in a position where you're pain-free. So if you are having any pain going too far out or too far in, just limit your range. Now when your legs are straight the next time, you're going to bring them up to the ceiling and then bring them right back down. Just a nice lift up and a lower down. Now, as always, if anything is causing you pain, so if you are doing this workout because of Nice for Knees and you get to feet and straps and this just doesn't feel that great, then I would just take them off and be done. So if this hopefully feels good for you, keep doing it. If anything does not feel comfortable, then you definitely want to omit that. Next time the legs go down, we are going to circle. So I just want you to go down with the legs and just circle up and around. It doesn't have to be big. You can start with little small circles. Kind of test the waters to see how it feels. Make sure you feel okay. Now this might be putting too much pressure on your knees, and if that's how you are feeling right now with these legs and straps, it just doesn't feel like this is going to work for you at all, I'm going to give you one more modification. So you can take the straps and you can put them above the knees. So now we don't have any pressure on the knees, and you can do your work here. So if that feels better for you to have the straps above the knees, so now there's no like hyperextending or pushing into the legs, that could be an option, and you can do all of your feet and straps here. So you might make that change if you're having trouble with the straps on the feet, you could put the straps above your knees. And you can do all the same in and out and up and down. And you can just kind of keep the knees a little bit bent. All right, so just a few more of what you're doing wherever you are with the legs. And then we'll go ahead and come in. So let's take the straps off of the feet. Take your feet onto the foot bar as wide as you can. Let your straps go down to the pegs and just kind of windshield wiper those legs from side to side, giving your back a little release. All right, and then when you're ready to come in, you're just going to roll off to one side and bring yourself all the way up. Good job. All right, so let's come around. I'm just going to come and sit. We'll do just a little bit more stretching. So for this one, I'm going to take my right leg and cross it over my left. And this is just going to stretch those hips that we worked out. And if this is not comfortable for your knee, then I'm going to give you a modification. So you can stay here doing this figure 4 stretch here, or the other option is going to be laying down, and you can push the carriage all the way out, cross your right leg over your left, and then you can kind of control the bend a little bit more by coming in against the springs. So that way you're maybe not going as deep into the stretch if you're laying down. So either one, either laying down or sitting on the side of the machine. And then let's do the second side. So I'm just going to stay lying down since I'm here. So I can start with my legs kind of a little straight. I'm going to cross my left leg over the right and just kind of come into that stretch. Good. And then let's come all the way in, and then you can roll up, and we are done. Thank you so much for working out with me. I know that was a lot of a different workout, but that was really designed for getting your knees strong, all the muscles around your knees strong, getting ready for if you're having surgery or anything else that you might be going on with your knees. So I had a lot of requests for knees, so I tried to put a workout all for everyone in one. So if I didn't address what you needed, let me know. And if I did, then hope you enjoyed the workout. All right, guys, thank you so much for working with me. I'll see you soon.